about your 49ers getting that big win there?
Absolutely.
Okay,
That
first
re
I need
that
to ask you something, sir. I need to ask
okay.
you something. When is your boy McCaffrey going to come back? Because having Achilles tendons in both ankles, he sounded like a Kevin Durant injury coming up pretty quick here if he get touched on that football field.
I
Calf
hope not.
injury to two calf
Yeah.
injuries to now they don't even know where he's going. He flying over to some other country to get some special transfusion
Yeah.
to get his ankles and all that and his Achilles right. I don't know, Nivinci. You know,
Well, the
Purdy's
thing
looking
about that,
Purdy's not looking bad, but without McCaffrey, man, you guys are gonna be in some trouble.
well, what's his name showed up the other day too. Isaac
Yes.
Guerrero or whatever. There, he showed up too. Jordan Mason's been playing ball. Um, Here's the thing though, they cannot be sitting there and waiting for McCaffrey like to say, "I'm coming back next week." We need to play like okay. We don't know if he's gonna be here for the rest of the season, so let's figure out something. We got Jordan Mason, right? He's holding down the front right now. Okay, rock with him, but let's get back to 49er ball, right? We can't be waiting on him. Okay, we understand he's injured, but we got to get back to 49er ball, which is what I saw in this game. Our defense was there. Purdy looked solid, right? Like I said, our run game was pretty good. Our run game was good. Debo showed up. Thank you, Debo. I mean, Ayuk is nowhere to be found, but Debo showed up. So yeah, it was a good 49er win. I was very happy with it. Against a tough team in Seattle. I mean, I know they lost like two or three in a row or something like that, but they're still a solid team. So yeah, I like the win. I was really enjoy the win. I like our defense. You know, boys showed up. You muted. You muted. You muted.
My bad. I ain't gonna lie. Um, they looked like they were in final form, but is it fair to say that Kyle Shanahan's West Coast offense usually gets a lot of rushing yards? It don't matter who it is. It's just kind of McCaffrey was the bell cow who can do it all: catch, receive, throw the ball, and run. You know what I mean? While they just did this by committee, because a lot of times uh Ayuk and and
Debo.
Tebow
De-
are
yeah.
doing the same thing. And like, you go and look at these numbers, right? Like, I hate to say this, I watched the game, but Giardo 99, Mason 73, Purdy got 19, Taylor got 19, Debo got 15. The halfback or the fullback got 6. But like, don't that's like well over 200 yards in rushing from
Yeah.
like 5 players.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like that's always the key. The thing for your team, I feel, is can they keep this same energy offensively and defensively the whole way going through and not have too many slip ups? Because you know exactly what happens to your team. You guys get to the Super Bowl and you play that boy number 15 out here looking
You
and,
got it. Why you got it? You got to
and
do it to me, man.
he start cooking y'all, man. Y'all start. You guys are like Toronto when LeBron comes around.
I know where
You
this
all
came
start
from.
shaking and hey, what's going on, man? Mahomes is in the building. You know what I
Uh,
mean?
can't lie, it does look like that. Look like we're scared of that boy, and he's our kryptonite. Um, but do you guys think Shanahan's offensive things is predictable now?
Hmm. That's a good question. I honestly, I don't feel like I watch enough 49ers to say. I'll say that. But I will say they are the team in the NFC that has the target on their backs. So usually when you're the top dog in a division, every team's watching your film, trying to kind of find ways to beat you. So I think that could probably factor in too. But yeah, I don't know. I can't say.
Um, I'd like to see that his West Coast offense hasn't changed from the West Coast offense that it came from. There's just different players and a few different little tweaks within the schemes. You go back and watch the 49ers when it was Walsh and Montana, you're going to see a lot of similar plays. You know what I mean? I think the West Coast offense is just the West Coast offense. And a lot of teams have variants of the West Coast offense, but the principles and the whole fit of what it's supposed to be and what it's supposed to do is the same. So for me to say that they know what he's doing, of course they know what he's doing. Can they stop it? That's the thing.
Yeah. Fair enough.
You know what I mean?
But like you mentioned earlier, we got that boy next. That's our next game versus the Chiefs. So, let's see if we can do something there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, let's get into your dark horse, the Texans. We ain't gonna talk about the other team, but we're gonna talk about the Texans. Because I told you already why I did this chill. I'm talking about this team because right now we need to rebuild. So your Texans, though, 41-21 against my Pats.
Yeah.
CJ Stroud didn't do crazy numbers, but it seemed like the defense that you guys are hanging your hats on putting in some work. You feel me? You know, like
Joe Mixon went to work too.
well, of
Yeah.
course, Joe Mixon went to work.
Carrying my fantasy team.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Like nobody. Come on, man. Like, let's be honest here. I knew the minute he left the Bengals made the biggest mistake in their life not paying the man. He's one of the reasons why Joe Burrow didn't get injured and hit so much because he was able to dump it off to him. You know what I mean? And having a three-headed monster that the Bengals had at that time. Come on, man. That's how they got to the Super Bowl. You think it was the offensive line? The man was hit the most that year that they went to the Super Bowl. In the playoffs, he was the most hit quarterback. Why do you think he was able to get that far? He had those weapons. But back to the Texans. Now, CJ, I think, is only going to get better, but he does need to calm down a little bit. Like, he doesn't need to try to make every play. You know what I mean? He does need to trust in what he has around him because he's got weapons. He's got a good offensive line. He's got a good scheme through coaching, which Mills will preach. And I'll preach the same thing. And I think all the gentlemen on here will preach the same thing.
Yeah.
He's got good coaching. They're set up to do some great things. He just got to calm down a little bit, man. Calm down. And that defense is fire. I can't even argue with it. But then you look at my Patriots and say, well, you're beating the dead moose. So how much did you really do? You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, you can say the Patriots not the greatest right now. Well, I mean, the Texans are 5-1, man. I think the score would have been worse if Nico was there, but he wasn't there. So Joe Mixon even had 30 yards receiving. I think Stephon Diggs is he's finding the chemistry with the team slowly.
Yeah.
The game is slowly coming on. So I think it's even going to be better. But I'm happy. I just where I saw them as a dark horse team. Like I said, CJ just got to calm down, let the game come to him instead of rushing it, and they're just going to be a deadly squad. Sly.
That's facts. Cool. So is CJ Stroud? Where's he at? Quarterbacks in the league. Where you guys got him at?
Man, this guy, he's always doing this, man.
You know what? I'll be fair to the man and say he's 7.
7?
Ooh.
7.
Ooh.
And that's due to his team, the structure, and the way he performs. Do you know what I mean? Like,
so can you name who you all got in front of him? Who you got in front of him?
Well, Pat's ahead of him. Allen's ahead of him.
Okay.
Lamar's ahead of him.
Okay. Burrow?
Burrow's shaky right now, man. He's shaky. He's Joe Thorough and Andy Burrow, but right now he look like he getting beat up by the gangs in New York. Okay? Warriors, come out and play.
Yo.
He get the dog ish beat out of him.
Goff?
Nah, you know what? I don't even want to say it. Golf's like top 5 easy right now.
He's hooping.
Yeah.
Like, he's top
He's
5
hooping.
easily right now. You know what? I'll even say Daniels is 4. But we'll get into that in a second here. Make it a full screen, bro. Make it a full screen, man. You know what I mean? Sly, where would you place him? Where would you place him?
I got him at number 4.
4.
I got him
Woo,
at number 4.
Okay.
And I know. I thought about it, and I'm like, I just looked at it in a sense of who would I take, and the only people I would take ahead of C.J. Stroud is Mahomes, Josh, and Lamar. Those are the only guys I could confidently say I would take ahead of C.J. Stroud.
You wouldn't take
And I
that.
think Burrow is hooping. Like, I think Burrow's playing good ball. His team ain't winning, but he's not playing bad. But I would take C.J. Stroud over him. Like, I would take C.J. Stroud over. Yeah, I just couldn't confidently say I would take. Yeah, none of them other. Nah, give me CJ, bro.
Daniels? You wouldn't take Daniels over CJ?
Nah, I ain't seen enough from him. Just strictly off of I ain't seen enough yet.
Okay, I don't know, man. Like
Like, we see CJ in the playoffs, and that's why we seen him in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So I seen this guy's made of something different. Like, he made it that special type of juice that the mother dudes is made of. So
what
I
about
think
you?
that to me the one was Joe Burrow. It's hard because we seen Joe Burrow in the playoffs too. I think that was one that was tough. I'm like, damn. But nah, give me CJ.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I got him.
I couldn't go Burrow or CJ over Burrow.
I
Because
got.
we know what Burrow can do, and we know what Burrow's dealing with. You cannot tell me that offensive line is any better, bro.
Yeah, it's not.
He out here
Definitely
getting
not.
smoked, bro. He getting hit more than Kirk Cousins. And Kirk Cousins be getting hit.
Word.
I got CJ in between the 5 and the 4, man.
The 5 and the 4?
Yeah. I mean, like Sly said, Sly break it down perfectly, bro. Listen, the kid has shown last year what he could do. He showed it in the playoffs. He started back again because sometimes we see this one guy and he has a breakout. That's why I never jump off one breakout season, right? You got to show me next season, right? He did that and he came back and he's doing the same thing.
Yep.
So I gotta give him that, man. His team is 5-1. He won in close game situations too, pulled it out. So yeah, that's why I said gotta give it to him, man.
I have to disagree, man. He's 7th, man. I can't put him over certain people. But one quarterback I want to talk about. Sorry, people, for sidetracking this, but this is just something that's been bothering me. Is Deshaun Watson extremely overrated now? Like, is it to the point where, like, I don't even know if they could get rid of him for a bag of chips and a squeegee?
They can't. They're
He
done.
get paid the most money, Slide. And I watch some of these games.
Yeah.
I don't want to put my head through a wall.
He's really bad.
Before, do we think he needs to step away from the game for a season though?
His dad died. He's got all these legal suits going on.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, like I'm saying, do you think he needs to step away from the game? Because I still think he's talented enough to play NFL ball, but I just think sometimes instead of judging him on his play on the field right now, we gotta be humans and say he needs to step away from the game.
No, of course.
Listen, he going through stuff that's bigger than football, and I just don't think he's in it. His mind is in it. He's too good. Like, there's no way you go from being that good. Because he was top 5 just 2 years ago.
Yep.
Sure.
There's no way you go from that to he's like looking like bottom tier quarterback right now. And I think it'll probably be in his best interest to take some time off, come back.
No, but you see when the opposing defensive player says he don't look like he's here, there's a problem. When the opposing defensive player says, I don't know how I got to him that quick, but he don't look like he's here. He's got to take time off.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And Cleveland's got a curse. They've got a curse, man. It don't matter what, like, anything that comes to them that's good, for some odd reason, the minute the Browns touch them, they put on that jersey. It's like North Stars. All the energy gets sucked up out of a pause.
That's crazy. That's really crazy because Baker Mayfield looking like an MVP
Woo!
candidate.
Yes, sir. Yeah,
Like
that
he's
boy is balling, bro. Hey,
it's wicked.
and you know
It is.
he's not just playing football. He's playing football, but he's playing with that dog in him,
Yeah.
right? He's playing with that dog inside of him right now. Good for him, man. Good for him.